Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of season 3 in the career mode RTG. We start with Ajax at home in the Champions League. I'm actually going to simulate this one because we have a game against CSKA Moscow later in the month that I'd also like to play. So I'm going to play Bologna away, Sassuolo away, and both of the Champions League games are at home, as well as the Chievo Verona one. And this is the one I want to play to try and ensure that I get the victory because of the state of the Champions League table that you can see here. Ourselves, Manchester United and CSKA Moscow all on 6 points. And Moscow are the side that have beaten us so far. So I definitely want to try and ensure that I can play that game and win it, so that if it does come to head-to-head, we're the ones that finish higher than someone else. Ajax have lost every game they've played so far, and I'm going to have to probably sim this with the rotation side. It depends what the gap is between now and then the game against Bologna. That'll be fine. We can sim with the full strength team and we'll be fine, hopefully, and have them fully recovered for the game against Bologna in a few days' time. You can see they lost 4-1 to Manchester United, 1-0 to Moscow, and 2-0 to ourselves. And not got a very strong side whatsoever, Ajax. Absolutely depleted from the team that we've been so familiar with over the past few months in the Champions League. Rabiot gives us a 1-0 lead before half-time, and hopefully we can build on that in the second half, which indeed we do. Their right back then gets sent off, so that's not going to help their cause, and you'd like to think that we'll be able to just see this one out from now. Now, if Man United and CSKA Moscow can draw, that would be superb. That would be the perfect scenario for that match day. We're not going to be able to find out if they did or not until a little bit later on in the episode. So I'm going to go and play Bologna now. We are top of the table level with Juventus, as Juve have dropped points. Still only 5 ahead of Lazio. So there's the potential for other teams to get involved in the title fight this year. However, at present, it does look like it's going to be a 2-horse race again between ourselves and Juventus. But I am more than up for the fight, as per usual. We shall play Bologna now, and the first team is fully fit for that. We'll have a quick look just to make sure they're starting their strongest possible team. We'll certainly put Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in there. Adam Nagy can play. Tony Vilhena on the wing-ish. And Safir Taider as well. They're obviously playing a narrow 4-2-3-1, so it's all cams. Valetti as well. Maybe Andrea Poli could play there. I'm not sure if Andrea Poli's necessarily suited to a more forward role. Nagy is more of a holding player. Certainly could play Jason Denayer at centre-back though. And let's see, Sabali at right back makes sense, Fabra at left back makes sense, and Skorupski in goal certainly makes sense. So that's going to be their starting lineup, and hopefully then we can add 3 points to our Serie A title as we added 3 points to our Champions League campaign. Telles. Oh, in the way, it was a poor pass actually. Folletti. Nice tackle by Rabiot. Still Folletti comes forward. Bruno Fernandes, of all people, is tracking back there to get involved defensively. Rabiot will play this off. And hopefully Frenkie de Jong can find a decent pass to Nicola Pepe, which he has done. Pepe's taken it in his stride well. Just laid this off to a teammate. And again, Bruno Fernandes gives us a 1-0 lead. In yesterday's episode, we were conceding a lot of goals. We were scoring a lot, but also letting quite a few in. Today, it's a new fresh day for a recording period as well, so hopefully I will be able to be slightly better defensively, but still just as effective going forward. We've started on the right foot and in the right vein. Let's just keep that going. Stuff here tied it into Hernandez to Tony Vilhena. Nice ball in there to Højbjerg, and then former Southampton man not able to give his new team an equaliser. Neither am I able to find a ball out. Højbjerg to Folletti, and Lafont with the save this time. Needs to be better with my distribution from my goalkeeper, that's for sure. Nagy will deliver the ball into the middle here for Bologna, and they'll continue to look for that equaliser. It's not the worst delivery in the world. Skriniar gets up well. Pepe is quick, but he's not quick enough to get to that. But he is not able to get it off Nagy at the second attempt. Bruno Fernandes will try and close Fabra down, and that's a poor pass, but somehow reaches Chicharito, and he's found some space. Albert Lafont again drawn into a good save. Slightly worrying the way that they're peppering shots at my goal at the minute. Nagy again will take the corner. This time we'll clear it with Frenkie de Jong. Goes exactly the same way as the last one did, but Sabali can't keep that in, thankfully, and the pressure finally is eased on our goal.
It's an important position to be in, obviously.
Memphis Forward there to Alex Telles, driving into space. Pull that inside, and Bruno Fernandes gets to that first. I'm waiting for the defender to come towards me, which he doesn't want to do. Doesn't want to leave Lautaro Martinez on his own. That's going to drop for Frenkie de Jong, and he'll find a second. That's the first time Frenkie scored for me in open play, I'm pretty sure. Really poor defending from Bologna. Just letting Bruno Fernandes have the shot. I should have found a better shooting opportunity there rather than just waiting and waiting and waiting and then trying to turn inside. I should have just hammered this straight at the near post there, but instead tried to play the ball inside. I'm just lucky that it fell straight to Frenkie de Jong, who's been able to get it up over the top of the keeper and 3 defenders, yet down early enough to dip underneath the bars. The only way he could have scored from there, and thankfully he found the right finish. 2-0. Alex Telles looking for Memphis Depay. Telles kept his run going. I was going to try and play a through ball to him if he ran into the channel, but unfortunately he stopped his run. Trying to hit this first time with Pepe on his left foot, as we know he can strike them really well. Connected with that well enough, but Skorupski was right behind it. Sonny Vilhena played in behind. Lovely ball. Stood up well. Keeper came, but Umtiti taking no risks and getting rid of it. Bologna's probably 6th or 7th corner of the game so far. Adam Nagy again will whoop it in. They haven't yet found a teammate with one, is what I was going to say. But they do on this occasion, but thankfully for me, straight down the throat of the keeper. Only takes 1 goal and Bologna are right back in this. And we start to get nervy again, as we have been questionable defensively in the past couple of games. Not necessarily, actually, to be fair, I've not necessarily defended badly. I've just conceded a lot of goals. It's not really come from poor defensive work. The opposition have just been very good at scoring, it seems. But we're holding on to a clean sheet here, and the majority of these games today, we should be keeping clean sheets in. So I'm hoping that this is backed onto the 2-0 win against Ajax. Back-to-back clean sheets, and hopefully we can keep that going for the remainder of the episode. So there are still 25 minutes left for Bologna to score a goal if they so wish. I'm sure they do so wish, because they're 2-0 down. And they might get one here. Kristić to Vilhena. Kristić, no, into the stand. Bruno Fernandes, Rabiot's there available in the middle, and Jovic is making a good run. Get it to him. Out there to Memphis. Try and turn his side, maybe look for Luka Jovic again. Off the bench here, Jovic, and immediately on the score sheet. He came on 3 in-game minutes ago, if that. It's 3-0 here. I'm just going to check the match facts and see when exactly he came on. In the 70th minute, Luka Jovic entered the field of play, and 4 minutes later, he scores a goal. That is game over. Højbjerg. Inside there to Santander, who's come off the bench here for Juan Camilo Hernandez. It's a decent delivery, and Umtiti heads away. Luka Jovic going to have to get back here defensively, and it wasn't the best of headers trying to find Memphis Depay. Umtiti gets up well to win that, and again, not able to find Luka Jovic. And the strike. At full stretch, Alban Lafont to deny Bologna a consolation goal. Do want to keep hold of this clean sheet. We haven't kept one for a little while. And with the last kick of the game, we still won't keep a clean sheet. Great finish. Nice work from the set piece. Whether that was something off the training ground or not, I'm not sure, but not really much I can do to defend that. It's a good ball in, and then he arrives late into the box, Kristić, through Christ knows how many bodies, and into the bottom corner. Fine. No clean sheet for me, despite solid defensive play throughout. Never mind, 3-1 victory. I mean, the points are the most important thing, but it is nice to try and win the right way at the same time. Cagliari haven't yet played Juventus on this match day. Lazio haven't played on today either. They're probably playing Monday, are they? No, they've already played now, and they've drawn, and they've lost. And Juventus have drawn again. So 3 straight draws for Juve. No, Lazio must have lost. 3 straight draws for Juve, and now they're 2 points behind us. Well, things going well so far today. Let's push forward to the next game, which I believe was Chievo Verona, which is a game that we're going to simulate, and hopefully we can get a win there too. Right, Chievo at home has arrived, so we'll simulate that with the rotation side, because the game midweek upcoming is the one against CSKA Moscow that I certainly want to ensure that we get victory from. Bauer's given us a 1-0 lead here, actually. The young right back in this home game. We should be able to beat Chievo here, I would like to think, with Jovic in the starting lineup. Nangolan further forward. There's Jovic on the score sheet. Politano, Karamo, Brozovic, Galladini. It's not a weak side. Galladini going off, and Bruno Fernandes going on. Memphis Depay coming on at cam centrally for Nangolan. Jovic bags his 2nd of the game to give us a 3-0 lead, and we'll take a convincing win there in Serie A. We're looking good for the Serie A title challenge so far this season. Really pleased with how things are going, and CSKA Moscow lost to Manchester United on the last match day, as you can see there. Ourselves in Man United on 9, CSKA on 6. Win this game, and we're certainly through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Forte Fernandez. There's Lautaro. Frenkie de Jong looking for Lautaro again. Turns well. Just going to let fly from the edge of the box. Good block by Magnussen. CSKA Moscow's starting lineup is weak. Really, really weak. 1-0 up after 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Adrien Rabiot is really powerful in the air. Their starting lineup is awful. Like, mid-70s at best everywhere. Really, really average. And we should romp home to victory in this game. It should be one of the most straightforward games of our entire season. I would like to think. How we lost the simulated game against Moscow, I've no idea. It just shows you how overpowered and silly the away game simulations are, because this team is god-awful that we're playing against right now. And I'd like to think we're going to absolutely hammer them here in Europe. It's no surprise that they haven't been able to do as well as you might expect them to in the group stages, and similarly with Ajax as well. Their starting 11 is just as weak, and that's why they've won, or literally no points. I was going to say won no games, but they've won no points in the group stage so far from 4 games. And CSKA Moscow, I think, have only beaten me once, and then Ajax once as well. With regards to their points haul so far, they lost to Manchester United, and they're certainly going to lose to us here as well. They'll lose to Ajax. Well, actually, I don't know whether they'll lose to Ajax in the... Oh, God, Bruno, that's awful. They'll lose to Ajax. They might lose to Ajax in the final game, I'm not sure. But for now, 2 defeats to Manchester United. We're going to batter them in this one, and then that'll be us through to the knockout stages. Thank you very much. And it'll be actually a showdown with Manchester United in the next episode to see who's going to finish top of the group and get, theoretically, the more favourable draw in the round of 16. Rabiot around the corner there to Pepe. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Well struck, well saved by Ep5. Fernandes will deliver, and it's a good ball. We scored from the last corner. We very nearly scored from this one as well. Nicola Pepe so desperately unlucky not to have added a second there. Header from Rabiot from the first goal, and then off the bar and down just in front of the line from Nicola Pepe from our second corner of the game. That was meant for Frenkie de Jong, annoyingly, and we could have set him up for a decent opportunity from outside the box as well. But Lautaro Martinez, tireless work. That was meant for Memphis Depay. Right then, some really horribly misplaced passes, denying us the opportunity to create more chances for a second goal, but CSKA Moscow certainly cannot cope with us here. Akhmatov around the corner there to Kuchayev. Fernandes. Here's Kuchayev again. Oh, it's chipped out nicely, but Rabiot comes across and puts an end to that. Memphis will drive out wide to them, knock the ball inside, drop the shoulder on him, and then keep the move going. Lautaro can make me a decent run. Pepe's made a good run. Perhaps could have played the pass slightly earlier when he was in an even better position, but I'll just dink this looking for a teammate in the middle, and Bruno Fernandes finds us a second. Very well taken. Chest control, first time volley, into 2, CSKA Moscow 0. I'd like to see a replay of that one, please. Just backs away from the defenders, just there, chests it down. One defender, well, I don't know what he's doing, to be completely honest. He just doesn't pay any attention to the ball whatsoever. Top bins, best bins. 2-0. Teles. Into Fernandes. Nicely across to Frenkie de Jong. Nicola Pepe. Fernandes. Bit of footwork. Left-footed effort. Well blocked. As you can probably tell, my headset just broke. It's certainly sitting differently on my head now than it was previously. It had just broken in one of these 2 supporting plastic things, and Numbnuts over here just dropped it off the desk onto the floor. So now the second one's broke. So it is affecting how I hear myself. So apologies if the level of audio with the commentary changes. I tend to wear a headset because it makes me like enunciate when I'm slightly not covering this ear, so I hear myself slightly better. But because you hear yourself less, it makes you raise your voice. It makes me enunciate more. But now I can kind of hear myself a little bit, so I'm not sure if the quality of the commentary will change. Hopefully it won't. I've got some Gorilla Tape downstairs. I'm going to try and Gorilla Tape it once I've finished recording this particular video, but it rather annoyingly is just broken on me. Regardless, let's crack on. Bruno Fernandes with the corner. We scored scored from our first and very nearly scored from our last. And Nicola Pepe was the man that nearly scored with the header. How is that for a weak foot volley? 3-0 into Milan, and the best of the bunch from Nicola Pepe. We'll certainly show a replay of that one, thank you very much. First time cross, first time volley, and the keeper just watches. Thank you very much. Throw for Moscow. Takuma, oh, he's giving that straight to Telles, and then that'll be my throw. Thank you very much. That's not gone according to plan, has it, lads? Rabiot, forward quickly to Bruno Fernandes. There's De Jong. Lautaro's actually made a great run, and it's a superb pass from Frenkie de Jong as well. And Lautaro Martinez doesn't make it for Memphis Depay, doesn't make it for off the post. That should certainly have, well, I mean, it's already game over, but that should certainly have added a bit of gloss to the tie. Nice little 1-2 attempt, but unfortunately doesn't quite come off. But still, the pressure builds on this CSKA Moscow defence. Lautaro turns, and this time has his goal. 4-0 in the 59th minute. I told you this CSKA Moscow team weren't very good. Just comfortable for Alex Telles. It's just not very good, CSKA Moscow. And we might be able to add a fifth here if Bruno Fernandes can either find the right pass or the right finish. There's a pass. Is it the right pass? It turns out that it was. There's a fifth. Nicola Pepe on the score sheet again. Into 5. CSKA Moscow 0. It's as straightforward as it comes. Telles. Down the line to Memphis Depay. Turns well. Jose to Fernandes. Through for Lautaro. I've got to get Nicola Pepe a hat-trick. It's 6. They just can't cope. CSKA Moscow. We're playing far, far, far too good for them. They're just not very good. Quite simply not very good. 6-0. This, I believe, is our biggest win of the entire series so far. Fernandes with the delivery. Headed away by Skriniar. Oh, we've got caught in it there though. Bruno Fernandes and Bistrovic could find a teammate. Takuma finds Vlasic to Bistrovic to Vlasic. They had a great opportunity to shoot a moment ago and they passed it up, but they've worked it around well enough. They're just not being clinical here at CSKA. They haven't had many chances, to be fair, to practice their clinicality. They're just kind of snatching at everything because they're so frustrated because they're not good enough. 6-0. I'd love to make it 7. I don't think I've scored 7 in a game that isn't Ultimate Team for a very, very long time. Lautaro played him round the corner. This could be 7. It's not. It is! Nicola Pepe scores 4! Oh, it's 7-0. Unbelievable. De Jong into Rabiot. Through the gap to Bruno Fernandes. He takes that in his stride well. All the space might open up for Lautaro. It hasn't. The opportunity to play a killer through ball there was really on, and I unfortunately didn't quite time it right. Otherwise, we may well have had an 8th. Rabiot to Lautaro. There's space there for Memphis. Frenkie de Jong's gone off for Brozovic. So made a change in the midfield, but unfortunately, that's going to be all she wrote, I think. I say unfortunately. I'm sure CSKA Moscow can't wait to get on a plane back to Russia. Absolute destruction at the San Siro. Nicola Pepe with 4 goals, and he got an assist for that as well. I'm not sure. Did almost all of the goals come in the second half as well? 6 goals in one half of football, or was that... No, the Nicola Pepe one was in the first half. Oh, dearie me. Pepe, 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 Pepe! That was ridiculous. Did he get any assists? Nicola Pepe. 4 goals and 2 assists in a 7-0 win. No wonder he got a 10 out of 10 rating. That's ridiculous. Unreal. Wow. Hands down, the best save, or best result of the save, and probably my most convincing win of FIFA 19 as a whole. Sassuolo away next, and they better be ready. Back there to Di Francesco, decent delivery. Babic heads up but not away, and Lafont will hold on. Only 8 minutes in here, but Sassuolo starting on the attack. I'm playing my rotated 11 here, just to, I think to be fair, the main starting 11 earned themselves a break and a night off. To be completely honest, after that win against CSKA. Hopefully we can still get the victory here against Sassuolo. I'm pretty sure we should be able to. I have every confidence in this team. Brozovic get the back to Brozovic, who turns well. The shot was on its way into the back of the net if Concili hadn't made that save. Cross will come in here from Brozovic himself and find teammate. No, Walter heads away. Central midfielder playing in the middle of their 4-3-3 today. Nangolan across there to Gagliardini. Don't fancy him, but I did fancy Nangolan if I'd have been able to slot him through. That's cannoned off the Belgian, and that's cannoned off Kevin Prince Boateng. Well, no real quality so far. Sassuolo having a decent season, as you can see in the top left. They are 4th in the table, so they're not massively off the pace. So they will be difficult to play against, but hopefully not overly difficult to play against. Tano over the top, looking for the runner, Luka Jovic, who gets that first. And as far as I'm concerned, yes, fouled by Seamus Coleman. The Irishman now applying his trade here in Serie A. I think he's actually been at Sassuolo since season 1, if memory recalls correctly. Gagliardini will poke this through there, looking for Luka Jovic. Find Brozovic. It's a nice run by Luka again. Finds some space. The shot's wide of the target, unfortunately. 94 finishing on Luka Jovic now. Proved it with the goal in the first game. Just need him to prove it now with a goal in this third game. Walter. Oh, that's a nice through ball to Waldschmidt, and he's got men in the middle. He might not need any of them. Good save by Alban Lafont. He decided not to use any of them, whether he needed them or not. Oh, and thankfully Van Oysden wins that header. Lafont was a little bit in no man's land there. Came and then got halfway back. Berardi will take the corner here for Sassuolo, and on the half-hour mark, they might be taking the lead. Thankfully, Bale will bring that down and work it away. Maybe on the counter-attack we can take the lead. Imagine Nangolan, not as fast as he was, and not going to be going anywhere very fast at all, as Ferrari absolutely chops him, and a deserved yellow card. Brozovic to Nangolan. Cross it to Gagliardini. Jovic is making moves. He's pointing where he wants it, and he'll get it in there. Unfortunately, Lawrence defends it really well. Might have to call on some first-team players off the bench to try and make the breakthrough in this game against Sassuolo. They've played very well so far, and continually denying me offensively. We've only had 2 shots in the entire game so far. Lovely ball by Jovic, looking for Jan Karamo though. Lawrence certainly quick enough to cause me some problems here. Nangolan across. Brozovic trying to sort his feet out. Oh, is that foul? It is. Right. Now's where we have an opportunity to score from a set piece. Now is the time that I bring on Bruno Fernandes off the bench to take it and hopefully find the back of the net. We'll drop Nangolan into a holding role and we'll bring Bruno Fernandes on to specifically take this free kick in a very dangerous position. Bruno, give me the goal to send us 1-0 up, please. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, around the wall, but not past the keeper. Never mind. There's still 35 minutes to get that goal to go in front. Win that. Well up, Stefan. Great header by De Vrij. Nangolan forward there to Bruno Fernandes. Oh, tackled. Wins it back to Luka Jovic. First time shot blocked. It will be a corner. Let's see if we can get ourselves a goal from the set piece to go in front. Brozovic with the delivery. De Vrij up. Karamo! Not necessarily the way I intended on scoring, but we've scored and that's all that matters. Jan Karamo, right place, right time to knock the ball home. It's the man in the right mid-spot that's right place, right time as he was in the last game. It was Nicola Pepe last time, it's Jan Karamo this time, and the result is the same. A goal for Inter Milan. Berardi, Pröper, back to Brozovic, forward there to Casata. Out to Di Francesco. Oh, Van Oysden in the right place at the right time, just as Karamo was at the other end. Not worked away well enough though, and David Pröper could shoot. Nangolan gets in the way. Morales will find Berardi, and Lafont saves and cannon himself off the woodwork. In the process, they're going to take this short, aren't they? 20 minutes to go. Oh, I thought I'd gotten to that. De Vrij does well. They're going to give the free kick. Okay. Oh, you're not going to book him for it as well. Have a word. Oh, come on. Let's get ourselves a second goal if we can. Maybe even on the counter-attack from this chance. Win that, please. I mean, I wanted to head it that way, but never mind. Corner again for Sassuolo. 18 minutes to go now. This one will be lofted into the middle. And we'll find a teammate. Berardi draws the save out of Lafont. All right, we're living in strange times right now where I can't really seem to get the ball away. Bologna had me pinned in for a number of corners in a row in the first game, and it seems Defending a corner is my weak spot in today's episode because I got pinned in there by Sassuolo as well. Politano on the counter-attack, he surely has the legs on Davy Prepper. Apparently not. Luka Jovic will turn. Politano, oh, it's a great ball through. Bruno Fernandes, can he turn two in one go? He can, but he can't find Jovic. And from corners at one end to a corner at the other. Can we get a second goal? Jovic could be underneath this, he is, but he cannons off Ferrari and he's out for another corner. Let's try again then. Bruno Fernandes into the middle. Politano underneath it. Di Francesco heads behind. This is surreal. Corner, corner, corner. Up the other end. Corner, corner, corner. Finally, Davy Prepper clears. Get it back in though. You never know. We might yet score a second goal. Jan Karamo's there on the far side. Decent touch. Bauer arriving. Driving. Crossing. Deflected keepers. Win that header. Well up Bauer. Bruno Fernandes brings it down. Memphis will drop the shoulder and time the pass right. Bruno Fernandes couldn't score from the free kick and won't score from open play either, unfortunately. Politano couldn't keep it in. Brozovic will get the corner to whip in. Here's Jan Karamo. Well, he's got one. Why not score a whirly of a second? No, over the bar. And the referee will be blowing his final whistle sooner rather than later. It was a bit of a risk rotating the side against the team that have been so far pretty decent this season, but I felt like the first team deserved a night off, and thankfully we were able to get the victory anyway. To be fair, it was dominant. 10 shots created, or 10 chances created. I just wasn't quite clinical enough with only 3 being on target. But a strong November for us, a very strong November. Really pleased with that, and hopefully December can be just as fruitful for us. Wait to see what Inter's game is day 1. Training injury though, it's only 7 days for Milan, thankfully. That's been slightly worrying. So we will head into December with a game against Manchester United for top of the Champions League group. Roma at home, Atalanta away, and Udinese at home. So, I mean, Roma's going to be a really difficult game. They knocked us out of the Coppa Nazionale last year on penalties, of course, so we want a measure of revenge there. But so far, it's just the one extra victory that sees us lead Juventus at the top of the table. Hopefully, after January and February, we'll still be ahead of them as well, because they're the 2 months where we play Juventus. I'm pleased with that month. How can you not be delighted with a month that included a 7-0 win? Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more, and I'll see you next time.